Today's episode is brought to you by SeatGeek, our presenting sponsor, and the best app for buying and selling tickets for sports and music. Their new feature is SeatGeek Marketplace. It's an easy way to sell tickets without getting hijacked by ridiculous after-the-sale costs. Go to SeatGeek.com/BS to learn how to buy and sell tickets on SeatGeek. Today's episode is also brought to you by Simply Safe, the best way to protect your home without writing huge checks or signing long-term contracts with no way out. You know that feeling, Katie Nolan. Seriously, why wouldn't you want a home security system that gives you 24/7 protection for just $14.99 per month? Visit simplysafebill.com and get an exclusive offer for 10% off. Finally, a home security you can trust. Again, simplysafebill.com. Remember, you can subscribe to this podcast and the Channel 33 podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. Catch up on any episodes you missed at BillSimmonsPodcast.com. And remember, I have a new show launching on HBO at some point over the next 19 years. Shout out to HBO, and we're off! I probably could have done all that before you got here.
No, you did a really good job, though.
Thank you.
It was fun to listen to. When's that show coming out?
I don't know. Who knows?
You just have to stay tuned.
I went to the fight game. They were taping the fight game yesterday. HBO does a show, the boxing show. Jim Lampley.
Yeah.
He read off the teleprompter for like a minute and 15 seconds straight, just completely flawlessly, and it really kind of psyched me out for everything I want to do.
Well, you just read that really, really well.
Yeah, but he's Jim Lampley, though. Like, there's like 5 or 6 people who are just broadcasters. Like, Costas could just give a monologue, an off-the-cuff, beautiful broadcaster monologue for 4.5 minutes without any flaws whatsoever. I feel like I would have like 19 flaws. I'm not a traditional broadcaster. You're way more of a traditional broadcaster than I am.
That is okay. Maybe.
Actually, we're both a-traditional, I guess.
I'd
That's
say,
Katie
like,
Nolan. That's Katie Nolan's voice right there.
Hi.
I think you're the first official female-only podcast guest I've had, but it's not because it's a weird male-female thing. It's because mostly it's just been my 4 friends who keep coming on.
Wait, female only, like you had people who were hybrids? What does that mean?
No, I mean, like,
only?
I've had females on the podcast, but I haven't had a whole podcast with just a female guest. That's it.
He's laughing because last night I yelled at him for calling women females. We don't like it.
Women?
Yeah, women's good.
Well, would I say a woman guest?
No, a female guest.
Lady
like the
guest?
word female as a descriptor is fine. But
Lady
when you
guest?
say, like, when it comes to females, that's bad. Don't do that.
Women?
Women. When it
Ladies?
comes to women. Ladies.
Girls, not good.
Bitches.
Bitches, I wouldn't have said.
Yeah.
That would have been a bad start to the podcast.
It would.
You're in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You're scared of Los Angeles.
No.
No, you're a little scared. A little
Not
scared.
really.
A little scared.
There's no sports fans out here.
That's not true.
It is.
See, now you're putting me in a position where I have to defend Los Angeles,
Yeah,
the city that gave us the Lakers and Kobe Bryant.
This is how it always goes with us, that you defend LA to me, when I'm pretty sure you hated it here too, originally.
When I hated it when I got here?
No, like before you came here, you were
I
like,
hated
ew,
LA. I kind of still hate LA. deep
Yeah,
down.
okay. So,
But it's great to live here. I mean, look at today.
okay.
You
so
strolled up, you're wearing like a sleeveless shirt because it's so warm outside. It's great.
true.
You'd in
That is
Boston, you'd
true.
have like a parka on, scarf, gloves.
But, like, I don't want to work today. Being
Right.
inside and working and looking out at this lovely day is torture. At least in New York or Boston, it's rainy and cold, and it's like, I might as well work.
So you're saying the East Coast and how depressing the weather situation is, which then depresses the people. It makes people want to work because that's really their only recourse.
Yeah, I find my happiness in my work because there's nothing else to make me happy in New York.
Well, there's drinking and eating.
Well, yeah. But you can get that anywhere.
This is an interesting topic because I worry about this sometimes with when weather makes people too happy.
Yeah,
Does it reduce their drive?
it does. And also, like, games are on really early out here.
Well, that part's good though.
No, it's not good.
No, that's
well, it's good for, I mean, it doesn't really matter for us because it's our job to watch them. But, like, if you worked an office job, then sometimes games are on like 4 o'clock. You're still at work.
You just leave early. That's
You
what
can
everyone
just
does
leave
there.
early
You
whenever
just
you
leave.
want to?
You just go. You just go.
You guys are so lazy.
If you go back after you've had football the way it is now,
Yeah.
when you go back east and you're waiting until 1 o'clock for the first game, it feels like it's 100 hours long.
Well, so I wake up at like noon on Sunday, so it's sort of like how it is out here.
That's true. You don't have kids.
Oh,
Just wait till
yeah.
you have one kid. That's all going to change.
Okay, and
Like,
then I need to move to LA.
Noon
is
is
what you're
like
saying.
noon is like when you take a nap after you've been up for 7 hours.
Oh god, that sounds awful.
Yeah. Stick it out for as long as you can.
Are there good things about kids, or we're just going with straight up?
Yeah, they take care of you when you're old. That part's good. You have somebody to like handle your stuff when you're dead.
Oh, well, I don't care what happens to my stuff because I'm dead. So
it's got to go somewhere. No, kids are great as long as they turn about 5.5.
If they
when they get to 5.5, they become people. No, it's fun. Like I hang out with my daughter now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Go out, go to hockey games.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're making your kids Kings fans.
No, they made themselves Kings fans. The one thing I talked to Sal about this on Monday. The one thing I didn't like. This is the first time I've been in this situation. You know how you wouldn't know this. Little kids, you might know this. I
might know this.
Little kids love Steph Curry.
I didn't know that.
Like if there was a presidential election where little kids could also vote, Steph Curry would be our next president. All the kids would vote for him under like 15. So Odell Beckham's like a very poor man's version of that. Little kids love Odell Beckham because of the one-handed catches and he's fun to watch.
Because fantasy is ruining sports and they see people, they don't see teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So my son somebody at school likes Odell Beckham, and then he's kind of like, who's this Odell Beckham? And he went on YouTube and he saw a couple catches, and then we were watching football on Sunday, and Odell Beckham in the first quarter made an unbelievable one-handed catch over the middle. My son was really into it. He's like, throw me some passes. He's trying to catch one hand. He's like, Odell over the middle. And I'm like, wait a second, this is terrible. What's happening? You're pretending you're a giant.
That's not good.
So then I kicked him out.
Good. I was going to say bad parenting, but you got it.
Yeah. I didn't realize. It took me like 3 minutes. But I've talked about this before, but you really have to establish boundaries with your kid if you're not living in the city where all the teams are.
Yeah.
And basically, they can root for whoever, but they just can't root for certain teams.
Like your kids won't be Lakers fans.
Right. Yankees.
Yep.
Giants.
Yeah.
Mets.
Jets. I'd say Jets. Don't want to be Jets fans, just for their own sake.
The Jets are kind of sad though. It's almost like it's they're not threatening.
All right.
That was really insulting to the Jets.
It was.
They're not that threatening though. It's like, oh, my son's a Jets fan. It's like
that's not a sentence I would say though. You can't let your son be a Jets fan. I don't think it's going to happen because why would he be? What is he, a huge Ryan Fitzpatrick fan?
Like Ryan Fitzpatrick's beard captivates him?
Oh, I love Harvard, so I want to be a Jet. Doesn't make sense.
So the last time we did a podcast together, I was working for Espen.
Yep.
I don't know, when was it? Like last spring?
It was right before my show launched. So
when's your show launch?
March 15th. So it was probably around like March. Beginning of March, I think I came out.
So that was the beginning of this year, basically. And now we're at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I feel like you have some momentum. I don't want to jinx it, but
you just did though.
Well, a little bit. People know when your show's on. It's midnight, Wednesday nights.
Yep, midnight Eastern, 9:00 out here.
9:00 out here.
Yeah, that's right.
Not as helpful for you at the 9:00 out here. You're going against a lot of TV.
Yeah.
But you've gotten some momentum. You've had some viral stuff.
Yeah.
You launched a podcast.
Yep.
You're establishing your corner.
I'm making my brand.
Your corner.
Yep.
It's a little like I don't know, Marlowe season 4. Just kind of nailing it down.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that. Yeah,
but you said you were working really hard though.
Yeah, well,
but it's a half-hour show every week. So how are you working that hard? Tell me what you're doing.
Well, we don't have a big team of people. We have like 5. I mean, you met everybody when you came by the show.
You were basically working in a closet.
Yeah. Well, and that's our big studio because we just built this podcast studio. That's where you saw. But then we have the downstairs studio, which is even smaller than that. I mean, we have a really small team, so we're trying to come up with things and book people and make 22 solid minutes. 22:10.
Don't look at him.
22:10. I'm trying to think of the exact. 21:20.
No, look at me. Keep your attention over here.
21 minutes and 20 seconds of solid television every week. So yeah, it sounds crazy to think that we work 5 days a week, a ton of time for 21 minutes and 20 seconds, but we do because everything we do is so weird and different. Because we're just trying to see what sticks right now.
You're doing it the right way, which is you just have to try shit.
Yeah.
We can swear on this podcast.
Oh, amazing. Because I said bitch and you like, woo.
Well, I
didn't know.
I got
so
scared.
Fuck that shit.
I got scared.
Let's get into it.
No, you should be trying stuff because the show you have won't be really the show you have for like 2 years.
Yeah, that's what everybody keeps saying.
Yeah,
and I don't
just throwing stuff against the wall.
Scary. Yeah, well, so eventually, hopefully we'll move to like more days a week and we'll have found.
More days a week?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like
every day?
That would be ideal, or like Monday through Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, that would be great. I don't know if it's going to happen. I would love for it to happen. So right now we're just trying to find bits that we like that we can reuse so that it'll be easier when that happens, because we won't be able to work this hard on every single show when we have 4 of them to do in a week.
Well, 4 nights a week, you'd have a little more of an interview crutch, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yes. We'd be a little up against it.
So the way the show evolved so far, initially you were doing basically what you did when you were online, where you were writing stuff, writing a whole bunch of jokes and firing them off. And now you seem like you're experimenting more with the format. Yeah,
because we don't have an audience. So it's tough to write into a format that works really well with an audience.
Yeah.
Because we just have the 3 producers chuckling in the background sometimes. But like one of them is usually running prompter and one of them is trying to do audio levels. And so no one can actually focus on laughing at jokes. And they're all hilarious and deserve laughter.
Right.
But we figured instead of writing the show we wanted to make with the resources that we have, we wrote the show that we can do with the resources that we have. You know what I mean?
When you say prompter, were you talking about that guy who's just basically scrolling with a Mac?
So that was when you came.
Or his iPad? Did he have an iPad?
Well, so you gave us
like yeah, look at the prompter. I'm like, that's an iPad.
Like 5 minutes warning that you were coming.
It was like 7.
7 minutes. So we don't have prompter in the upstairs studio, and we didn't have access to the downstairs studio. So it was like, what the fuck are we gonna do? So we had our producer, I think it was Chris Kirk, scrolling through a laptop for you so that you had a prompter. He was on his knees that whole segment, which was really impressive. But we have actual teleprompters downstairs.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't think you gave me enough credit for my stop by.
You crushed it.
I didn't know I was going to be able to do it because I was in that JFK to New York City rush hour traffic, which is usually like 17 hours.
Yeah, you never know. Could be 2 hours, could be an hour.
And I was able to bust through it. Something happened, some lane opened up, and then all of a sudden we're doing a cameo. I feel like our cameo would have been much better if we'd had like an hour though. Like we only had like 12 minutes.
It would have been fantastic, but we had you for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it was good for the time we had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was an unexpected.
People told me that they thought we wrote it specifically, like we had planned in advance that the Back to the Future day we were going to book Bill Simmons on that day and do
that was funny how that worked out.
Yeah, the fact that people thought we wrote it specifically for you and planned it with you was like cool because we wrote it about 5 minutes before we did it.
So you're not even 30 yet. Like a movie like Back to the Future, do you even...
Yeah, I love that movie.
Okay, good. So you're the generation after the generation, but it was on cable all the time you watched that.
I think so.
Because I feel like I'm almost now 2 generations removed from people, which is really scary. Like I'm almost done. This is like my last hurrah because...
I'm starting to hit the age where you make references to movies you liked that people look at you and are like, what are you talking about? So like a Ferris Bueller.
High school kids.
Yeah, like a Ferris Bueller reference and people are like, what is that? Like, what do you mean, what is that? I think there's a certain number of movies that I don't care how old you are. Your parents should have made you watch that movie.
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, I know.
Because like Larry Bird turned 59 yesterday.
Yikes.
And I was thinking when he peaked in the mid 80s,
that's also when I peaked as well.
So when I was in the mid 80s, it would be like when somebody was talking about George Mikan. You'd be like, oh, whatever, George Mikan. So now 30 years later, I really worry like when I talk about somebody like Bird. If people under 25 are like, whatever, dude, he's still a white guy, he sucked.
There's no way.
I hope not.
Maybe, but probably.
Everyone is so in the moment.
Yeah.
Although the Steph Curry thing's legit. Like I'm actually condoning this.
Genuinely worried to see what fantasy sports does to like kids and their involvement in sports. Because now kids all have, how old are your kids?
My kids are 10 and 8.
Do they have iPhones and iPads and...
My daughter has like an old iPhone that doesn't actually, it's restricted.
Like she can use the Wi-Fi, but it doesn't have like a number? Yeah, she can use the
Wi-Fi in her house. We get to look at everything she does on it. It doesn't get to leave the house. It's all that stuff.
And she's how old?
10 and a half.
It's too young. Too young for a phone.
Well, no, but you don't
Does she have like a Snapchat? You don't want that?
No. She doesn't have any of that stuff.
Instagram?
No.
Don't let them do it until they're like 21. Well, this is what I'm saying. I've seen kids with Instagram accounts that are like 7.5. What are you Instagramming? And they're always on their phone.
Usually it's the parents.
Yeah, maybe. But they're like, kids now have like 8 fantasy teams. Because if you think about it, fantasy, you got to find a league. And in school, when you're growing up, you have so many friends because they're like friends. You know, they're not like actual friends of yours.
Yeah.
Nowadays, when we need to make a league, it's like, oh, I got to go with people I've met or that I know through work. But you never know more people.
Hate.
Yeah, you never know more people than when you're in school. And so kids are in a fuck ton of leagues and are just all about individual players. And no one ever really, I don't think kids care about teams as much anymore.
Well, and then the other problem is, like, when I was a kid, or even when I was like in junior high, high school, whatever, it was really hard to see other teams other than the teams that were on in your city.
Yeah, that's true.
And now it's like, you could be a Warriors fan. You could see every Warriors game.
Yeah.
And when they come to town, you could buy Warriors tickets on StubHub or make your parents do it or whatever.
Yeah.
There's availability that didn't exist.
And I think we all, like when Red Zone became a thing, we all looked at it as convenience for us, but didn't think about kids that wouldn't grow up watching like a full football game.
Right.
And then switch to Red Zone. They just want to only watch Red Zone. So now, like, getting a kid to watch an entire football game is probably torturous for them. They just want to see all the touchdowns.
That's why baseball is in trouble.
Yeah.
Because my kid wouldn't even conceive of watching a baseball game. There's just no way.
You have to teach them the value of it. You're
it's
in LA.
Really tough.
You guys are supposed to be the people who slow everything down.
I know a lot of people with kids, and I only know two younger kids two of those kids who actually grasped baseball, and they both played it. And it started like with the video game. The video game is very important for this stuff.
Yeah,
like
but it's probably the least fun
emulate.
video game. Baseball video game is...
I agree.
It's not... There's too much
It's always been that way. They've never figured out video baseball.
Like the last baseball video game I played that I enjoyed was that Little League game. The Little League World Series game for Nintendo.
I didn't know they had that.
Oh, yeah.
Little League World Series?
Yeah. It was
what happens? Do the kids cry when they're down 9-0?
No, because the graphics weren't that advanced at the time. But I was always Japan. Japan was a really good team in that game.
So when I was growing up, and I lived in Brookline till 8th grade, but like if anybody was a fan of anyone other than a Boston team, I don't even know what we would have done or said or like we all would have been just confused. He would have been like an alien.
Yeah.
And now I feel like.
Well, then my generation started that. I've a lot of
shift a little.
Yeah, a lot of like a la carte sports fan friends who are like, yeah, I like the Spurs, but I also like the Vikings. It's like, why? Why did you do that? Oh, I just picked them because I liked players on those teams the years that I was growing up. There's a lot of that now.
Yeah, we had some of that because you saw it with like, because the Patriots, even though the Patriots were good in the late 70s, but for the most part, they're kind of sad sacks. And there were people that drifted a little bit towards Steelers Cowboys because they were always winning and they were always on. Didn't like those kids.
You don't go with the winner. Did not want to be
friends with those kids.
Yeah, because those kids came back when the Patriots got good. It's like, you're not welcome here. You left. You're not welcome back. Go be a Steelers fan.
So you were like, were you even in high school yet when the Patriots got good?
Yeah. Yes.
Or like right before high school? Because you missed the whole era when the Patriots were like the worst thing you could have had in your life.
So I missed a lot of the Boston heartbreak. And I'm very aware of that. But I also like went to Red Sox games with my dad. That's how I liked baseball. And he would relay all of the years of devastation to me to the point where I feel like I almost lived them myself because he didn't ever.
When I said you missed it, I think it's a good thing.
It isn't though.
It wasn't that fun. Believe me.
I know, but I think we're like on the cusp of getting there again. We're gonna have that dark, winter is coming for Boston sports.
You think so?
Once Brady retires, yeah.
In 7 years?
Yeah, sure. I just don't want Brady to go out like Peyton. I want him to, when it's his time, which isn't now, go with a little bit of dignity.
In the early 90s when Bird kind of went down, he's wearing the 30-pound back brace. He's slogging through games. What you realize is, you first of all, you remember the good games and none of the terrible. Like, he had a bunch of bad games. I don't remember any of those at this point. I just remember the good ones. But in the moment, the stakes were different because he's not the same guy, but you're just rooting for him to recapture it. And you get there, and then when it happens, like, oh, he's there. There it is. It's back.
Like Kobe right now?
Yeah, like Kobe now, except Kobe, it's never back. It's just gone completely. And Manning, I feel like the same thing, except for that one Packers game when all of a sudden he was throwing darts a couple Sunday nights ago. It was kind of his last hurrah.
Yeah.
When Brady gets there, I don't see it just being terrible like that. I think it'll just be a gradual all of a sudden he's just not as efficient, and it's almost like a slow, inexorable crawl toward mediocrity. You know what I mean?
It was very poetic.
Manning, it was like physically he just broke.
And you could
was
see his
done.
face was like, every time he threw, it was like, ow.
4 neck surgeries. Like he had no zip on the ball.
Yeah.
Brady, if it slips, there would have to be an injury first. And I think he would just have to become immobile and just start taking a ton of hits. That's what happened to Dan Marino.
Yep.
Dan Marino, there was just like target practice on him. So,
I don't want to see Tommy like that.
Well, you're in New York. What do people say about the Patriots? Did they make fun of you?
Yeah, of course.
They call you a cheater? It's like you cheated.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's like we cheated.
Yeah.
It's like we're the cheaters.
My fault.
Yeah.
I'm the deflator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was going on.
Yep, whole time. It's such a dumb controversy. People still talk about that out here? Is that still a thing?
I don't think anyone's talking about it at this point. I do think that it seems like people have gone one or two way with the Patriots. Either the hatred is as strong and as fervent and passionate as it's ever been, or there's like a begrudging respect that they're still good after all these years, and that Brady's 38 and like all his rivals have died off, and Manning was the last one. And he's still like chugging along.
Yeah.
Now you see Drew Brees although he looked pretty good on Sunday, but Brady's just outlasted all these people. There's this picture of him with Deion Branch. They honored Deion Branch.
Yeah.
Sunday's game. Like, Deion Branch was drafted after Brady and retired like 4 years ago.
Oh, shit.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's just Brady's just outlasted everyone who's ever played with. He's still chugging along.
Because of that guy, Alex
Guerrero.
Yeah.
I worry about that guy a little bit.
You know what? I do too, but when I see articles of people being like, oh, he pushes his snake oil salesman on people, I don't think Tom Brady's that smart. I think this guy works, whatever he does for Tom Brady works for Tom Brady. It's gotten him to this amazing career. And if people want to talk about Brady's physical training and how he got to where he is, Brady's like, why don't you talk to my trainer? I don't think he's pushing this sketchy dude and his weird science. But I imagine that guy's probably somehow stealing some money from him or something.
Yeah, like you wouldn't be shocked if there was a massive Real Sports piece about him.
Yeah.
A long time from now.
I don't think he's a great guy necessarily. I don't know much about him, but I don't think it reflects on Tom Brady as much as people want it to desperately.
Yeah, people's real goal would be for this guy to have some connection with like the HGH doctor that got tied with A-Rod and all those people who was bringing stuff over from Canada or whatever he was bringing.
Yeah.
And then it became a whole thing. Like that's what people want this to be. And I don't think that's it.
Think it's that.
It's almost more toward the Scientology side of things.
There was a Deadspin thing on it. That was like he got asked by, I think it was a hockey team. I don't know who it was. Maple Leafs maybe. To talk to the athletes, and he wanted his trainer to do it, and they were like, look at these emails where he says this and this and he pushes them. I'm like, I don't think that's really that bad. Wouldn't you feel bad for Brady that his emails leaked out? Yeah, I did. I thought that was terrible. Did you read the pool cover one though? Yeah. I love that he has normal people problems. But who wants their emails to come out like that? That was terrible. I certainly would not. That was terrible. We have to say hi to our friend Stamps.com. The holidays are here. Katie, you're a busy lady. You're working on your show. Mm-hmm. You probably don't have time to go to a packed post office, stand in line, listen to annoying people take forever to mail their holiday gifts and packages, I bet. No, you don't. No, I don't. You should use Stamps.com. At Stamps.com, you can buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package using your own computer and your own printer. Sign up for Stamps.com right now. Use the promo code BS. You get a 4-week trial plus a $110 bonus offer that includes postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in BS. Stamps.com, enter BS. The post office does suck. It does suck. We have a producer on our show who does a very good impersonation of you doing a Stamps.com promo read. Is his imitation better or worse than my thing? I'd say they're about the same. That's how imitations go. They're pretty much the same. Him. Yeah, you should. He's really good at it. Live reads are tough. They are. There's an art to them. You don't have to worry about it. You're on your fancy TV show. I'm just here doing my dumb podcast. I do my Adidas ones on my podcast. Oh, you do? Yeah, I do. Was that a corporate sponsor shout out? I can do my read right now. How many podcasts have you done? This is, I think we just did our 9th, so this week will be 10. What was the best one? Last week was actually very solid. I'd say maybe week 2 or 1 or 2 or 3. We started off strong. They're pretty good. You had Beetle on. Yeah. Skype. You know, I still haven't met her, like, physically face to face. I know. That was a weird face.
She's here now. You should just meet her now.
I texted her.
You're in LA. But she's busy.
I know. She's a very busy woman. Maybe I'll see her. Just drive to her house, stand outside with a radio.
NFL changed for you at all over the last year and a half by how scummy they've been with different things?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I tried not for it to, but it did a little.
What changed? Do you care as much?
No, not as much. I mean, I still care. I don't want to act like I have some very strong moral compass that stops me from watching football. But it's harder than I thought it was going to be. Just hearing names that you're used to hearing in other contexts of how they're awful people. And then we celebrate them because they sacked somebody. It's kind of shitty.
I've had the weirdest football fan season I think I've ever had.
Why?
I think it's weird to watch the games and to constantly have the whole concussion thing.
Yeah.
Is he hurt? Wow, he got a little wobbly there. He gets up.
And there were some bad ones this season.
They're really bad ones.
Where you're just like, can we not zoom in on Teddy Bridgewater sleeping, taking a nap in the middle of the field? I don't need to see that.
And I also think that the way they actually play football, I don't know if you can change it. Like, I go to a lot of hockey games, and the hockey players have really figured out how to change their style of how they play to kind of accommodate for all the safety stuff. Like, they can do it. Like, they'll hold back on a check in the boards or like slamming somebody's head when they're not looking, and the open ice checks, all that stuff. They've kind of cooled off on the stuff that you know, I definitely grew up with, and even you grew up with, like the Stevens hit on Eric Lindros and center ice. Like, you'd get suspended for the season if you did that now.
Right.
And they figured out how to navigate around it, and
and also
changed.
You'll get your ass kicked the next time you're on the ice.
True. Somebody will come at you.
Yeah.
In football, these guys are so big and so strong and going so fast.
And getting bigger and getting stronger every year.
With no checks and balances for the bigger, faster, stronger stuff, because I don't know how natural it is.
Yeah.
I think... you know, I'm a little dubious, but these guys, I don't know how you hold up when you're going 23 miles an hour and you've already launched, and at the last second, the wide receiver ducks his head, and it looks fine when we're watching split second instant replay that's slowing everything down to the insta-second, but at real speed. How
do you make that decision? How do you
can't.
know? Yeah. Well, so I think you just get rid of helmets.
Get rid of helmets completely.
No helmets. You're not going to launch your head into another guy's head if your head isn't covered. Because if I hit you with this part of my head, the front, like the forehead part, with a helmet on, and I get like your temple area, I'll be fine. You're screwed now. But if we both have no helmet on, then I'm not going to ram my head into your head.
Well, maybe.
I mean, I have before, but you really pissed me off that day. That's my hot take. No helmets. Let's go back to leather heads. Is that what it's called?
So you say no helmets. The pads are much different. What about weight limits?
You mean...
Do we need 375-pound offensive linemen that fall on each other and just their legs bend in different directions? I feel like that's happening more than ever.
It is happening.
I don't know what the stats are for that. Like, the Giants have lost 5 offensive linemen now, I think. I think they've lost all 5 starters.
I don't want to live in a world where Vince Wilfork isn't a thing. You know, if we had a weight limit, then I would never see him on the grill, like dancing while he makes ribs, and my life would be worse.
So you're saying to keep the Vince Wilforks of the world, you're willing to sacrifice all this?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't care about concussions. I care more about seeing that fat man dance.
Fat guys.
Seeing him get excited about
fat guy
barbecue.
touchdowns.
Yeah, I love a fat guy touchdown.
Well, I wonder, like, so Vince Wilfork, what's he going to look like he'll retire after this season. What's he going to look like in 2 years? Will he be like 75 pounds lighter?
I was going to say, what if he got super fit? He retired and...
I think that happens, though.
Yeah?
Like that guy, Jeff Saturday, the Colts center, he did TV, he was like 70 pounds lighter when he started doing TV. I think these guys have to bulk up because they need...
I wonder what percentage of Vince Wilfork is muscle. And what is delicious fat. You know, I don't think
sumo wrestler body.
I think if you poke him, I think it's soft. I don't think any of it's really muscly.
So that's losable.
Yeah. Yeah, they say the bad fat is the fat like when it's hard because that means it's in between your vital organs.
The guy I want to see, like, I do think, I keep coming back to Adam Silver and how he's running the NBA. Like, you even saw it with Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
Philadelphia's, they did this whole plan. They're basically like, we're going to stink. We don't care. We don't care what kind of product we put out. We're just going to try to get good draft picks. And this is our plan. And there's no rule in the league that can really stop us from doing this. So they did this for a couple of years. They've made 5 picks. They never ended up with a franchise player out of those 5 lottery picks they had. And I'm not even sure if they have a guaranteed all-star. And they're going to these other NBA cities, and nobody's going to the games. And the people who own the teams are like, what the hell? Like, this is a Sixer game. Like, I might as well not even have a game other than have these guys show up. The people in Philly don't care. Adam Silver says, he brings in Jerry Colangelo. He's like, I'm bringing an adult to help you run this team. I don't know if the NFL has somebody like that. I mean, forget about Goodell. Like, who's the guy who's going to be like, hey, guys, I have a 5-year plan to make our game safer? I don't think they care.
Yeah, I don't think they care either.
It's more
PR.
successful than ever.
Yeah, all they care about is how to make it look like
they care.
They care. Not about actually caring, because actually caring will cost them money, cost them resources, and it'll cost them time. And it could cost them viewers. People might lose out on wanting to watch football if it's not, a macho.
It does seem like it's more popular than it's ever been, football. I don't think people are going away in droves or any of that stuff.
Is there a tipping point though? There has to be, where another sport comes back and then it's that sport's time for a while. Like right now it's football, but
basketball is the best positioned because it's got the marketable guys, but the gap between the basketball ratings and the football ratings, it's like no contest.
Yeah.
You could put the worst Thursday night game ever on versus the best NBA. You could have the Warriors going tonight against Cleveland.
Yeah.
On TNT, and it wouldn't do as well as football.
I think it's because football did it the opposite way that everybody else would have to do it now to be. Football was like a Sunday thing. It was you knew what day it was on. It was only on that day. And then it grew to, which one was first? Monday? And then it
Sunday
grew to
night.
Thursday. And like.
Don't forget Sunday night.
Well, yeah. So it was Sunday, then Sunday night, then Monday, then Thursday. And it's sort of expanding slowly so that even when there's a crappy Thursday night game on, we want football so badly because we haven't had it since Monday that we watch it. And it's growing backwards.
So you're saying it's almost like cigarettes.
It's good to start in one concentrated. I know there's only this many weeks to the season. There's only this many games, and I only have to watch them on Sunday. Very easy to consume. Whereas if you're a hockey fan or a basketball fan, it's like I don't necessarily know which night we have a game, and then there's all these other games on these other nights, and it's too much to keep track of, and there's so many games in the season. Like baseball, there's so many games in that season. But football is about the length of a postseason in another sport.
Yeah.
It's easily consumable.
You look forward to it when it comes back.
Yep.
It's like, oh, football's coming back.
It's like
the Hall of Fame game.
It's like In and Out, which probably wouldn't be that great if it were everywhere and we could have it all the time. But because you can only have it when you're in certain areas, you look forward to it, you go to it, you get excited.
That's what baseball should do. They would never lose the gates, though. But baseball should be 140 games.
I don't think you can go backwards. I don't think you can go from having a huge season and be like, we're just actually going to do the postseason instead. Is that cool with everybody? But that would be great. Because look at any other sports postseason. Ratings, I think, are great. And they're fun to watch. They're exciting. There's stakes. It's not like, well, we're at the beginning of the season and there's hundreds more of these. So I don't really have to care.
Basketball and hockey could do it. I feel like hockey is the one, especially, that really needs a shorter season. Going to these freaking regular season games in October.
That just don't matter.
They don't matter at all. And everyone in hockey, 16 of the teams make the playoffs anyway, so there's no urgency at all. And they're just skating around.
Yeah.
And it's... In hockey, unlike basketball, it's like basketball, like, I'm going to see Anthony Davis tonight. In hockey, I guess Chicago's like that. There's a couple teams, but not going through the league. These teams show up and you're like, oh, that guy. Hey, that guy looks familiar. Mm-hmm. But it's just not the same. You're basically paying for the product, not the players. Yeah. And I love the product.
Me too. That's why I like hockey more than basketball, because I like team more than star.
And the fans are great. It's like old school fans that we have in our section, this guy, whoever the goalie is, Like it would be like Crawford, like, hey, Crawford. And then everyone else yells, you suck. And he goes, hey, Crawford. And he does it like 10 times and everyone gets you suck. And my kids think this guy's like a hero. He's like an American hero. They just love this guy, the you suck guy. But the best is when the goalies have these weird names like, hey, Vasilevsky. It's like 7-syllable names. But you hear some really rude things at hockey games still. I like it. It's like a bridge to an old culture.
Yeah. They have
an old politically incorrect culture.
They have those family sections where they put people that you can't drink beer in those sections and it's all children.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice to, if somebody yells at me for cursing at a hockey game, I'm like, fuck you, sit in the family section.
Right.
This is not the family section.
Yeah, I always worry about whether I'm too liberal with swearing and stuff with my kids. Like when we listen to music, if we listen to like Kanye or somebody, I can't do the edited lyrics. I just can't.
Is that too much of a sacrifice for you?
It just feels mutilated. I want my kids to like music. I don't want them to like this mutilated version of music. So you have to train them to not say certain words when they're, and just kind of mute themselves. And
how's
that's
that
a
going?
parenting. Great.
All right.
Great.
Good.
Fantastic. I don't want my kids to listen to mutilated music.
Your kid's going to drop an N-bomb in a bad situation.
No, that'll never happen.
It could.
No.
What if they're rapping along to lyrics that you didn't edit for them in front of their friends?
No, they know to mute it.
Yeah, well, once they start drinking, they might not. You never know.
Drinking, they're like 8. What
yeah, I know. You've got
about?
time. You've got 3 years.
3 years.
3 years till they pick up a beer.
I have. When did you turn on your parents? What year? 12?
Like, when did I start to openly just fight with them all the time?
Yeah, when did you just, like, all of a sudden your hormones are going nuts and you're like, I hate my mom. I want to run her over in a car.
That I never thought. But would it make you feel better if I said that I did? Is this do you need to talk about some stuff?
No, I'm just worried. I have I'm a year and a half away from,
I think,
and it might not happen. Maybe my kids will just continue to love us.
Middle school.
I
resented my mother because she gave me an awful haircut and wouldn't let me grow it out until high school. And
what did it look like?
So it's like, it was a little bit like Jaromir Jagr, but like a little shorter.
I think you've tweeted about this before, haven't you?
I definitely have.
The Jaromir Jagr is really rough.
It was a bad haircut by everyone's standards. My mom nowadays says that it gave me my personality, which could be true, but also it gave me a lot of shit in middle school. Like, middle school is when kids are the meanest. I know high school, the movies are always about high school, but middle school was really mean.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time the attractive girls start to realize they're attractive, and it's the first time the not attractive girls realize, oh shit, wait, I don't have that.
Right.
And so we get it was a bad time. And I had braces. I wasn't doing myself any favors for that all to happen in the same span.
That's good for you to work on your personality.
Yeah, so that's how I made friends, by liking sports and trying to be funny. But then
so it all worked out.
Well, so then once I finally grew my hair out and was like, oh, I feel like a pretty girl, then I kind of sucked for a while. And then I got over it and went back to who I actually was. It's very difficult being a woman in the world. You should be good to your daughter. Take good care of her.
It's my number one thing that I think about all the time.
It's really
over
hard.
everything else.
Yeah.
I really worry about all this stuff with girls.
It sucks.
You can see it in 5th grade. Mm-hmm. 5th grade, she's in 5th grade now. 5th grade is when it starts.
That's because that's when school dances start.
Oh. I don't think
for me it was 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade.
Yeah.
No?
No.
Don't let her go to those.
So
mean things happen.
You have the triangles. You have the 2 girls, the 3 girls, but 2 girls are always closer than the 3rd girl.
Never let your daughter have friends in 3s.
Yeah, ever.
Because 2 will always gang up on the 3rd.
The triangles start in 3rd grade, but in 5th grade is when they start to get mean.
Yeah, they're bad.
Yeah. I listen to the conversations down in the car, like I'm pretending I'm just playing the radio or something, but I'm really listening to everything they're saying.
Yeah.
And listening to them talk about other girls, I'm like, oh my God. My daughter's 10 and a half. Like, this is the next 50, 60 years of her life. It's her complaining about other friends to the friend that when that friend leaves the car, there'll be another girl in there, and then they'll probably end up talking about some. And it just kind of keeps going.
Teach your daughter to love all women.
That's what I've been trying.
It's so hard because we're raised to see other women as competition for everything all the time. You're not supposed to be friends with all of them. Whereas boys, you guys were friends with everybody.
Dogs.
And you sort of like wrestled when you got into fights and then you moved on with it. Whereas we turn around and tell our other friends. And it's just just tell her that all women are wonderful and to make everybody her friend.
Trying to do that.
You can try.
You know what's a hard conversation to have is to talk about how careful you have to be with who you trust with information. Because you even see it in 5th grade. You tell somebody, yeah, I don't like the way that girl dresses or something. Don't tell her. Or, yeah, I won't tell her. And then so she tells somebody and then it goes and it gets back. They always tell. So our thing is like, who are your friends that you would trust completely, 100%? Who do you trust? And it's a smaller list than you think. It's like those are the people you should tell that stuff to.
But kids don't have a grasp of trust.
They don't. But you can work on them a little bit because, you know, kids do have the instincts though. Yeah. But anyway, with girls, I mean, you see it like 5th grade is definitely the transition year for that stuff. Because then you have puberty starting, girls starting to, you know, things.
That's going to be a fun conversation to have.
Well, she had a friend that it happened.
What happened?
You know.
Oh, already.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Did she get it? Was she confused? What do you mean? How do you handle that? Is that a mom conversation?
I stayed out.
Mom does that?
Here's how I handled it. I stayed in
here.
My
dad wanted to talk to me. I couldn't. I would have no words to say to my father.
I stayed out. That's where the wife really becomes valuable. Kind of laying it out. But somehow my son overheard it and he had a lot of questions. And most of them were inappropriate. Yeah. A lot of inappropriate questions.
Give me one. Tell me one.
Him creating a song called the Tampon Song.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
He's sounds like a hit.
Yeah. So you think the Jaromir Jagr haircut that you got is really responsible for your career?
I might have a picture of it.
Can you tweet it after we put up the link to the podcast?
Maybe, except maybe not. My mom will love to hear me say that it's responsible for my career. She would love that too much.
You know, you said how girls who are good looking, like in 5th, 6th grade, and they get the confidence from that, and it just kind of goes. So my mom, shout out to my mom, has this Kobe Bryant theory that she has actually about everybody.
Okay.
And her theory is this. When a woman is like 16, 17, if they're pretty and they're getting attention from guys, they think they're that person for the rest of their life. So that person can now be a 70-year-old old lady and be 200 pounds heavier, and she still thinks of herself as a 7. This is my mom's theory, not mine.
Yeah.
She still thinks of herself as the hot 17-year-old who had all the guys vying for her. And her theory is this is Kobe Bryant's problem right now.
He still thinks he's great.
He's
Kobe.
still trapped in I'm 22-year-old awesome Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And that's just, he's always going to think that. He's always going to think he's great at basketball. He's never going to realize. I thought that was an interesting theory, though.
That is an interesting theory.
My mom has a lot of bad theories, but that one actually made me think a little bit.
Well, so in college and after college, I gained a bunch of weight, as girls do.
Yeah, college is rough.
And
bad eating habits, bad drinking.
I can kind of prove your mom's theory in that I was still interacting with people as if I was skinny Katie and thought I was, cute. And it took somebody being like, tell your fat friend to shut up for me to go, oh my God, is that me? I'm the fat friend?
You're looking around
I didn't.
Fat
who? Wait, this personality isn't cute when I'm chubby? I still did it. I didn't care. But yeah, I guess that theory is...
Are you looking for a picture or are you doing text?
No,
I'm
looking
for your Jagr picture?
I'm looking for me as a child. But I think once my mom sends them to me, I delete them because I don't want anyone to... I would rather a nude leak than a picture of me as a child.
That's something that's, by the way, if a nude leaked, it would last like a day and then everybody would go on to the next terrible thing that happened.
No, I'd say 2 days. They're not bad. They're worth taking 2 days of your life. And then you move on.
My daughter's generation is now learning. It's like the generation of no shame.
Yeah.
It's just you can get any photo of anyone or any terrible story about anyone and it's just all online. Nobody's perfect.
It's crazy.
That's kind of what they're learning. Hey, you know who is perfect?
Who?
Katie, you grew up in a town outside of Boston, Framingham, Massachusetts. A town big enough to get 2 Mass Pike exits.
Yeah.
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 The Route 30 exit, what was the other one? Route 9?
Route 9.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Growing up, you can't remember life without Dunkin' Donuts, I bet.
I cannot.
In 2015, you have all these new hotshot coffee places popping up left and right. You have coffee chains on the bike. You have coffee machines. Dunkin' Donuts just keeps fighting everyone off. It's like a little like the Brady Belichick Patriots. That's what it reminds me of. Just the machine, the excellence of the machine. Anyway, it's my pleasure to tell you about the DD Perks loyalty program. It's how Dunkin' Donuts shows its appreciation to its loyal fans. Members earn points toward free beverage rewards. They get exclusive offers and great perks. They even get a free beverage on their birthday. Enroll right now. Enjoy loyalty the Dunkin' way. Sign up at ddperks.com or by downloading the Dunkin' mobile app. Get a free beverage when you enroll. Use promo code BS when signing up. Participation may vary. DD Perks loyalty program. You must be loyal to Dunkin' Donuts if you're a Massachusetts person.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's not even a very good one. It's a picture of a picture from my mom.
Ooh. That is a little Yager-ish.
Oh man, it got worse through the
Why did
years.
she do that to you?
Because no, that's a cute one. No, that's a cute one. I was cute then. That's before I cut it.
Yeah, that's not
It
bad.
went much shorter than that. Yeah, they're not good.
All you're missing is a hockey helmet.
Yeah, well, I had one for a little while.
Most famous people from Framingham. I just looked this up because
you did?
Yeah, well, as I was preparing.
Lou Merlone.
Crispus Attucks,
Okay.
Rich Gedman,
Yep.
Krista McAuliffe, the astronaut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nancy Travis, actress.
I don't know who that is.
She was in a whole bunch of stuff in the 90s. And Tony Barbieri, Jimmy Kimmel Live writer.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I knew that because he's my friend's uncle.
That's it.
Am I not on that list? That's rude. This was me at my wedding.
You made that list. I think you're
childhood
definitely.
wedding.
That's not a bad one.
That hair. Are you
It's
seeing
fine.
the hair?
Your hair's fine.
Oh my God, you're out of your mind. These aren't good enough. He's seen some really awful ones, but I delete them.
Hey, when people do interviews with you and Beto and all these people, they always want to talk about how mean social media is to women in sports.
And you always yell at me for.
I don't want to talk about that.
let's
The only
not.
reason I brought it up was I'm not going to talk about that. I don't know why people always have these. All right, put your phone down.
I'm
now
looking
it's
for-
like being with my daughter.
You're right. Wow, that's bad. You
yeah.
need to take your daughter's phone away. That
No,
sounds like
because she now these friends are texting her now, and it's like they have a
not
whole
good.
5th grade text chain.
it's not good.
Oh, it is the dumbest conversation you're ever going
Sounds
to read in your
dumb.
life. A lot of 3-letter.
So you go through her phone
Oh yeah.
at the end of the night, beginning
Whenever
of the day?
I want, I can go
She
through
can
my phone.
delete messages, you know.
No, she wouldn't do that.
But she could do
Wouldn't-
that.
She can't lie to me. I know when she's lying.
Well, you
Her-
think you know
her-
when she's lying.
Her lip does a certain thing when she's lying, and I always know.
But
like-
she's
like-
going to learn. Have you told her that that's her tell? Because then she'll
She
learn
has like
to not
7
do it.
tells. My daughter can't lie yet. But
right.
she eventually she will.
She
the ones
will, and
the
she'll
ones
be
who are
good
the
at
good
it.
liars are the ones that the parents are like, oh no, I can always tell when she lies, and then they're like sneaking out the window in the room. But anyway, my point is, there's always this little touch button because it's like, oh, it's a female in sports media. I'm gonna talk
about Twitter.
about female sport, but it's.
I have no new things to add to it. I talk about it a lot.
I don't think
and
it's
I feel,
interesting. First of
Yeah.
all, I think social media is mean to everybody.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't like who's getting like the free pass on social media. Zero, nobody, not
Well,
one
I've never
person.
trended on Twitter, Bill. So
For
I
what?
don't know. You have. I imagine yours are a mess. You just
For-
don't look.
For terror. No, I don't look. Why
I
would
don't know
you?
how you don't look. Just like peek.
Why?
You don't peek at all. You're not
But why,
curious
though?
to know what people are saying. And because
what-
that's how I came up.
What are the people? That's how you came up. What do you mean?
Yeah, like through Twitter, through interacting with people on Twitter.
That's your generation though.
Yeah. No, I'm doing less of it. You're in every time I do it now, I have a little Bill Simmons in my head that's like, stop.
I don't like when you
Wah.
I don't like when you take somebody who's being a dick and you engage with them and you give them basically your platform so they can be a dick.
Right, but I use my platform to make fun of them. So if somebody tees me up for a perfect joke where I can make fun of that person, then I'll do it. I know you don't like that.
No,
I like it.
I think you've elevated beyond it.
Yeah, we'll get there.
You're a higher species now.
We'll get there. I think I might have said that to you last time I was on your podcast, that when I get to a point where there are so many that I can't read them, like after the Greg Hardy thing we did on the show,
Yeah, that was excellent.
I did. Thank you. I didn't look that day because at first I was doing my usual go back through, look through my replies, and they were coming in faster than I could read them. And I saw a couple that were mean, and I just thought, I don't want to spend my day doing this. I don't want to spend my day defending myself to idiots.
Right.
I made a very simple point that I don't think you can really argue. And I don't want to, it's not worth debating with morons on the internet. And so I didn't look that day. And you would have been very proud of me. But then, of course, I get phone calls from my mother that's like, how you doing? I just looked at your Facebook. Are you holding up okay?
The parents are the worst.
And I'm like, Mom, I'm not looking on purpose. Don't call me and tell me. Or people will tweet at me. Like that day, I only looked at verified or people that I follow because you can do that. And mostly those people are nice. And I had those people tweeting at me with screen grabs of mean tweets saying, wow, it must be nice to be a woman in sports media. And so then I saw them, like, I'm trying to avoid them. I'm trying to not look at them. But, you know,
Isn't it weird when the parents get involved?
Yes.
And I have a feeling I would do the same thing if it was either of my kids. But
I know.
I hate when my mom does it. I was like, hey, I saw that thing they wrote. I was like, what thing? I didn't.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, forget it. And now I'm like, what thing? Just tell me.
Exactly. My mom got into it with people on Facebook.
Really?
One of my producers had to tell me. She was like, did you know that your mother is mixing it up in the comments about your Greg Hardy thing on Facebook? I still haven't looked, and I love my mother, and I sort of gave her the, Mom, you can't do that. But then she gave me the, Kate, you're my daughter, and I don't like when people say nasty things about you and they're not understanding your point, and you can't jump in, so I'm jumping in. So I get it.
I like that they call you Kate.
Yeah.
I've heard you say that before.
Yeah.
So Katie's your professional name.
Yes. No, Catherine is my professional name.
You know, my parents call me Billy.
Yeah, I couldn't call you Billy.
I know, I'm not a Billy,
Yeah.
but my dad was Bill.
Oh, well, that makes sense then.
So like when I'm with my family, they're like, Billy, and that's why I didn't want to name my son after me.
That's a good idea, because then
Yeah.
he'd have to be Billy.
Then it's like, now what's happening?
My parents they don't even, I don't think they call me Kate on purpose. I've always been Katie.
Kate will be like
call me Kate.
when you're working for CNN in 7 years and you're hosting some political show, like, and with Kate Nolan.
See, I always thought I would transition
Jake Tapper.
to. I don't think Kate Nolan is enough syllables. I think Katie.
Well,
Nolan
you'll
needs to be
marry
more.
maybe you'll marry Jake Tapper with Kate Nolan Tapper.
You think I'm gonna hyphenate?
I don't know. I don't know you.
I'll never hyphenate.
I'm so anti-hyphenation.
I think when I change my first name as I get older, I think I'm gonna have to go to Kathy. Because I think I'm
Kathy?
gonna, I think
That's
I'm gonna age
ridiculous.
into a Kathy.
No, I
I'm
think
not
you're a
gonna
Katie.
age like a Kate. I'm gonna age like a Kathy. I'm not gonna be Kate Beckinsale. I'm gonna be Kathy Bates.
So who are the other Katies on your corner? Katie Couric.
Yep.
Is she too old to be a Katie now?
No, she's
She
good.
shouldn't be Kate Couric.
No, that would.
No, you're
she
fine.
Could
You're
be,
Katie.
Though, but all right, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
What?
Smart money's on Kathy.
So, like about a year ago, I'm sure people are reaching out to you. Hey, I think you could do this. I think you can do that. Hey, here's an idea. Hey, here's an offer. What's the weirdest offer that you got from a career standpoint over the last year and a half?
That's a good question. I don't think I've had that many offers. I'm not.
That's baloney.
No, it
No
isn't.
way.
But also, like, I say no to most things, or my agent knows that I'm pretty focused on what I'm doing now. So I think most of the really weird stuff just he doesn't even tell me because he's sick of hearing me say
He vets it for
no.
you?
Yeah, I think he's sick of me being like, no, I'm not doing that, which I did a couple of times. I don't think
Like not a cameo on Scorpion?
that's a hard yes all the time for me. I'll cameo.
Or Scandal? Special guest Katie
I'm
Nolan.
in. Let's do it. Nashville. I'd love to be on Nashville.
Nashville?
Yeah.
Is that still on?
I think so. I'll play the part of Connie Britton's hairdresser.
What about like Celebrity Jeopardy? None of that stuff?
So that word celebrity, Bill, doesn't describe me yet. So I don't think I would be on Celebrity
Almost Celebrity Jeopardy? I think you're basically a celebrity.
D-list celebrity.
You're not
Jeopardy?
D-list.
E?
So I went through this
F.
whole, when my column took off, I started working for Jimmy. At some point I did like, remember those I Love the Whatever shows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I like those.
That was before I learned to just say no to absolutely everything.
I love like Best Week Ever. Those are fun. I would love to have done one of those. But I
Really?
don't get those offers. These aren't things that happen to me.
Oh, there's no way you don't get those offers.
Don't get those offers.
They don't really do those shows that
At
much
midnight.
anymore.
At midnight was one. I didn't.
Did
say
you do
no,
that one?
but no, I
You
might.
should do
I'm
At
going
Midnight.
to.
That's
I think
a
I'm
good
going
one.
to. When they asked
like Chris
originally,
Hardwick.
he's great. He's really good at what he does.
Yeah, I respect him. People haven't turned on him yet like they did with Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
People are still kind of in on the Chris Hardwick. He seems more relatable.
Yeah, I think
And
you're
his
right.
hair is a normal color, not frosted. I think frosted is really tough.
It's never good
a guy.
unless we're talking like Cheerios and donuts.
It's really rough.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen to you?
That's a vague question. I'm sure I'll
You
die
think there's
someday.
a chance you
I
could
don't-
have a daily show?
That would be great. I think they think that we can only do that in LA, and I'm determined to find a way to do it in New York.
How long you been dating your boyfriend?
Wow. Hello. 2 years, almost 3 years.
I can ask you that. I'm not going to feel ashamed for asking that question.
All right.
2.5 years?
Yeah, between 2 and I think 3, almost 3.
East Coast guy?
Yes, Boston guy.
Boston guy, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not going to want to move here.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, at some point you're going to end up out here.
I don't agree with that,
No,
but it's what everybody says.
No, you will. There's too many things going on out here.
I think sports television should be based in New York because there's just more.
That sounds like something like my mom would say.
Does it?
I just think gluten-free just shouldn't exist.
Your mother and I agree on a lot of things.
And gluten-free?
Like. Gluten-free is not a thing. Kale, get it away from me. That used to be a garnish.
You wouldn't like that about LA either.
Yeah, I know. We talked about this last time. I'm out on kale, unless it's kale chips, and that's only because I like salt and things that are crunchy.
Are you Italian?
Yes.
How much?
75%.
Makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah. Well, my mom's 100% Italian, and you agree on the gluten-free. I don't know. Yeah. It never dawned on me that you were Italian.
It didn't.
So what's the maiden name for your mom?
Leone. And Magni is her.
Can you make your own meatballs?
Yes, and they're really good. But
I
can't make much of anything else. Yeah, sauce, meatballs.
How long is your tomato sauce? How many hours?
Well, so that's a tough question.
No, it's not. If it's like, Katie's cooking today.
I've adapted it to my lifestyle that I can make the quick version, and I do that more often. I'm not going to sit here and say I spend 8 hours on a Sunday making sauce, Bill. It would make me sound cool, but it wouldn't be true.
Well, if you wanted it to be good, you would.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't care if it's good. I just want to eat it.
That's the 75%. That's why you're not 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Like 25%
if that extra
of me is late and lazy.
Yeah, wouldn't care. Wouldn't care about the 8 hours.
I just, I screw the top off the jar and I dump it into a saucepan. I stir it. Done.
Oh my God.
I'm fucking with you.
You're like 33%.
I'm fucking with you.
Do you cook? Do you cook for your boyfriend? Mm-mm. You don't cook for you. Why? He
cooks for me.
He cooks for you.
Yeah, he's a pretty good cook. I mean, he worked in restaurants his whole life, so he's a pretty good cook. I can cook, and I have cooked, but it just takes so much time. There's just so much stuff to do, and then you got to clean it after.
Cleaning is the bad part.
I just want to do the eating part. I love that part, and if I could get rid of the other two parts on the ends of it, and just do the middle part.
Is the boyfriend all right with everything that's happened with you? Like, you're definitely more high profile than you were when you started dating.
Yeah.
My wife never cared about that stuff.
Yeah, so one of the things about him I didn't know was a great thing about him until now is that he doesn't really care about celebrities. So he doesn't freak out when somebody that he likes is somewhere. He's really cool around people that he admires, but he also doesn't admire that many people.
But does he get protective? Is he Googling you? Is it like a parent thing?
No. I think we squashed that pretty quickly. We decided that wasn't going to be a healthy thing for him to do. He's just good at keeping me grounded. Like, without him, I think it would have been very easy to float off into the world of thinking I'm better than I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that. Just kidding. No, I think it would have been easy to lose my footing and buy into my own hype if I didn't have him to remind me.
Buy into your own hype. I like that.
Yeah. To remind me that I'm lazy and I didn't do my laundry that week. Like, he's there to bring me back, which is good. I feel bad for him. He's got to put up with a lot of shit.
Like what?
Like me, going out and to LA. Like right now, he's back home and I'm here and I'm going back and forth and I'm busy a lot and I'm working a lot and he's been. Well, it's not
supportive. Like you left him with the kids.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We want to get a dog and it's been tough to figure out a time that my life will slow down for a second because I want to get a dog and it'll be my first dog, so I want to do it right and learn how to be good at training it.
The first dog always means the most.
Yeah, it's an important moment.
I love my kids equally. My first dog I love the most because it's the first one. It's like it becomes like your fake kid basically.
Right.
So I just loved our first dog. Of course, she had to go die when she was 6. But
that's not fair.
Yeah, it wasn't fair.
I'm not prepared.
Don't get
a
golden retriever. Golden retrievers are cancer machines.
Really?
That's my advice after having 2 of them.
So I was between golden retriever and black lab.
Yeah, we had 2 that lasted a combined 16 years.
Yeah.
And one was gone at 6 and one was gone overnight at age 10.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's it. And meanwhile, these mutts live until they're like 200.
You've got a beautiful mutt now.
I know. She's great, right?
She's the best.
That's. I think that's where you go. I think the mutts live.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, golden retrievers lived till they're like 16, 17.
Yeah, I thought
don't know
they
what
were
changed.
the reliable
I
breed.
think they got 2 inbred. Speaking of dogs.
But don't do this Westminster dog show thing.
Speaking of dogs. Speaking of dogs. Tell us about the Westminster Dog Show. What's going on there?
I don't even know what I'm allowed to say about it.
Okay, don't say anything.
It's just a special. It was a best of special. We did it with Fred Willard from, Best in Show. Yeah.
He was unbelievable in that movie.
Yeah, he was. And also on this special. So I don't know when that airs, but
he's one of the rare underrated funny people.
Yeah.
Most funny people are either properly rated or overrated. He's actually underrated. Like the body of his work, he's been involved in a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
For Fox? Nothing? The network's kind of changed.
A little bit.
They've hired some people. What do you think of Jamie Horowitz?
This has been a very fun podcast.
What do you think of Jamie Horowitz?
I think he is a lovely, kind, funny man who is very nice.
I've known him for a long time.
Yeah. What do you
Pats
think
fan.
of Jamie Horowitz?
Big Pats fan?
Yes,
tall.
he is. Very tall.
Excellent hoops player.
Cool.
Selfish, though.
When he plays basketball?
Yeah, he's me first.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of Kobe Bryant and Jamie Horowitz. Oh, yeah.
There's a sentence I'd love to take out of context.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
But in a good way, like, especially in a game, he should be shooting most of the time, unless it's the highest level game.
Yeah.
Like, it's your best chance to win and stay on the court.
Right.
But at the same time, there are times where you feel a little like Lamar Odom, Kwame Brown, circa mid 2006, where you're just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna set some picks, and be good. But he is helpful that way.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy. He's very nice.
I've known him a long time. He takes too much shit in certain circles, which I don't like.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean I know what circles you're talking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he's okay with that. He can play the heel.
He enjoys it.
He does.
He does like the wrestling heel thing. You never got into the wrestling thing.
No, I tried.
You tried.
I tried because of you and people who I like that like it, but it's just I think I was too late to it. I can't get over the acting. Like I don't watch soap operas. I can't. It's not a thing for me. So I respect
soap operas.
you. Yeah, it's what everybody always compares it to.
It's one of those things that you had to, if you didn't get into it by the time you were 8, it's probably not happening.
Like I liked
You
it
don't
as a
belatedly
kid,
get
and then I
into
just sort of left it, and I never came back to it. I watched the other sports that were real.
Did I make you 10% uncomfortable with some of the questions? I feel like I did.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I just don't. I
Now
never
I
know
feel
what
bad.
I never know what I'm allowed to say, and then I get phone calls and I get yelled at. That like, why did you say that you did that thing and we weren't supposed to say anything? So.
Oh,
But
we
I'll
can
just
take it out.
Feign ignorance. No, it's fine. I don't want.
You know what I'm not
don't
taking
ever
out
ed-
is the
don't
Jamie
ever edit
Horowitz,
me.
Kobe Bryant comparison.
You said that, so don't
I know.
edit that
Well,
out.
it's true. That's why I said
Don't
it.
edit your podcast.
Now he's actually more like Gilbert Arenas, but pre-gun Gilbert Arenas.
That's an important
Because he
distinction.
will pass. Kobe would never pass. Jamie would pass. It's just normally, it's going up.
Yeah.
And he will pull up on 3-on-1s and shoot a 3. With the 2 other wide open guys. You know those guys? Watching basketball? Like, oh,
great
that was
analogy.
a terrible shot. Jamie will take those. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long are you in LA?
Till Thursday afternoon.
Thanks for coming by. Now I owe you a podcast.
Okay? So you'll edit this out.
No, I won't. I won't edit it out. I won't edit it out.
You already are promised for your first ever podcast guest, right?
No,
first official podcast.
I have to
guest.
go on. I have to do one other podcast thing where I'm the guest.
Yeah.
And I promised you I would do the second one.
Yep.
But
So-
where do we do that? In New York?
Well, we could do it in New York. We wanted to do it here now, but fine, you can't. So,
Here now?
yeah, well, so my thought was that we would do like a part 1, part 2. So we'd do yours, we'd stop, we'd say to listen to the rest of it, go to Katie's podcast.
Oh,
and then
that would have been a good idea.
Yeah, it was a fantastic idea, and
Yeah,
you said no.
can't do it.
Rude.
I only have one request when we do the one on your thing. You have to wear a Yarmir Yager wig the entire time.
Okay, fine. The things I do for you. Yeah, that's
Have
fine.
you broken one out in the show yet? Have you had Yager on?
No.
Now that you should have Yager on.
I agree.
That should absolutely be somebody on your show.
So you are under the impression that booking for my show is as easy as booking for your show.
It's Yarmir Yager. What's he doing? Where is he? Is he still? He's not still playing hockey.
Yeah,
he can't be. Is he
yeah,
still on the team?
He won the All-Star vote, and then he tweeted like, "I'm too old. I'm not actually going to
What
do
team
that."
is he on?
Yep, Panthers.
Oh, I haven't seen them yet this year.
Yeah. But anyway, booking for our show is a little bit more difficult.
When he comes to New York, I can't believe Yarmir Yager's still playing. I thought when he did that little Bruins thing, I thought it was over.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Until the playoffs start, I only follow hockey based on who came to play the Kings. So like they had whatchamacallit.
I'm so ashamed of you right now.
No, they had Tampa.
I'm just like, it hurts.
No, it's freaking
just be a Bruins
10-month
fan.
season.
How hard is that?
Wow.
Just be a Bruins fan. You're a sellout.
I get in when it comes to around March.
Oh, cool.
Around March.
Fuck you.
I don't want
Be
to
a
watch
Bruins
hockey.
fan.
I don't want to watch hockey on
That's
TV
fine,
in
but
November.
but you're watching.
I know what's going on with the Bruins. I'm going to the games.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to the Kings games.
It hurts.
Why does it hurt?
Because it's an LA team and you're just like a fan of them.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
I like going to hockey games.
Yeah, whatever. You're right.
When the Bruins come, I wear a Bruins jersey.
I'm not going to argue with you about it. But I will argue you have to do I'm not kidding.
By the way, this wasn't a year to jump in feet first with the Bruins.
Yeah, I
after
know.
they gutted the team and
This was the
drafted
year
a whole bunch
are you
of
jumping
dudes.
in feet first? You should already be submersed with water way over your head.
In November.
Yeah, whatever, Bill. I don't have time for this.
It's a special breed of people who watch hockey on TV in December.
What up, Cammie Nolan? That's my mom. All the time. Doesn't miss a
I
Bruins
know, those
game.
are the old schools.
Doesn't miss a Bruins
My
game.
dad watches all the Bruins.
My favorite thing, my parents have season tickets, but they're in the balcony. They're in 319, something like that. And I love going home and going and sitting in their section. It's so fun. It's so much more fun than sitting anywhere else.
You get some legit fans.
There's
up
character. We know all the people that have season tickets around us. They're wonderful people, like lifelong friends now.
That's what we had with the Celtics, and then all those people eventually, each year, like 3 more of them were gone. It was like Walking Dead. From like the early 80s all the way through to the Fleet Center, the section just changed. And then it was just, didn't know anybody.
Fleet Center. Bleh.
Fleet Center, remember that?
Yeah.
What's it now?
Bleh.
TD Bank North Garden?
Yeah. Just the garden, like it should be.
I don't feel right about calling it the Garden. Let's say you get a dog dies. Do you just name the second dog the same dog name? No.
I guess that's fair.
They murdered the
But
garden.
it's
They
not
knocked
the garden.
it down.
It's TD Garden, whatever.
Just call it like TD, whatever.
It's tough because in New York, the garden is Madison Square Garden, which growing up for me, the garden was the garden.
I know that's a big point of contention with the New York people.
Yeah. Well, I let them win because they're exhausting.
Yarmer Yager's still playing?
Don't look at him. Look
Is he
at me.
45?
I'd say 30, 42?
No, he's mid 40s.
Yeah.
He's in
43.
college.
Crushing it still.
When the Bruins played, I think it was 91. He was on that team. It was Lemieux and Yager. That was like, it was 91. That was like when Samuelson basically ruined Neely's career. Dickhead. This leg out thing. My son's playing hockey now, and it's like, I know
Yeah?
him to get, oh yeah.
That's exciting.
Oh yeah. He's into it. He loves it.
What's he? A center? Wing? What's he rocking? Goalie? Don't let
Wing.
him be a goalie.
No,
Goalies
he's-
are psychopaths.
he likes scoring.
Okay.
No,
That'll come in useful.
what do you mean?
I was making a joke. You said your son likes scoring.
Oh yeah. The goalies, that's a different breed.
Yeah.
We sit behind the goalies at the Kings games, and they all have some sort of mutant form of like ADD crossed with something. Like they have all these little rituals that they have to stick to, and they're maniacs. Even Quick, who's pretty normal, and I've talked to him a couple times.
Yeah. They have to be a little crazy.
Yeah, they got to drink the water bottle. They got to spray it a certain way.
Yeah.
Whole thing. Plug something.
My show is
Garbage
called Garbage Time.
Midnight, East Coast, Wednesday.
And 9 o'clock West Coast.
Is it every Wednesday, or do you take little hiatus?
Every
months?
Wednesday.
You don't have a little hiatus
We
months?
only get 20 episodes at a time. They only pick up 20 episodes at a time. So
Is that because they want you to feel like you're not totally loved and you have to
probably
work for their
it's
love?
probably some sort of
Haven't they come at you with some giant
psychological-
deal?
not yet, Bill. Just 20 episodes at a time. Crushing them though.
And what's the podcast called? The Katie Nolan podcast or the Garbage Time podcast?
Garbage Time podcast.
Garbage Time podcast.
Garbage Time with Katie Nolan podcast. Garbage Time podcast. with
Available
Katie
on
Nolan.
Stitcher,
Yep.
iTunes,
Yep.
SoundCloud.
Yep.
So are mine. Those are
Oh
all
my
things
goodness.
my podcast is available of.
It's almost as if we followed a model.
Thanks to Dunkin' Donuts, they just launched their DD Perks loyalty program. It's how Dunkin' Donuts shows its appreciation to its loyal fans, because that's how they roll. Members earn points toward free beverage rewards. They get exclusive offers and great perks. They even get a free beverage on their birthday.
What?
Sign up at ddperks.com or by downloading the Dunkin' mobile app. Get a free beverage when you enroll. Use promo code BS when signing up. Participation may vary. Thanks to Stamps.com for sponsoring today's podcast. Don't threaten the holiday spirit by being miserable in line at the post office. Oh, you love when I do the Stamps.com.
This is a good one.
I need to meet your person who does the
You've
impersonation.
met him, but he hasn't done the impersonation for you.
I'm going to have to call. You're going to have to do it on the phone.
Yeah.
Well, don't threaten the holiday spirit by being miserable in line at the post office. People, head over to Stamps.com. Get a free 4-week trial. That includes a $110 bonus offer, free postage, and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com. Click on that microphone top of the homepage. Type in BS at Stamps.com. Enter BS. Thanks to SeatGeek, our presenting sponsor that just launched a new platform to buy and sell event tickets. Learn more at SeatGeek.com/BS. They sent an awesome hat.
SeatGeek did?
Yeah, they have great hats.
This is
Most people have lousy hats.
Okay.
Or maybe they just don't look good on me because I have a giant head.
Is it like a...
This hat actually looks good on me. I have a big
trucker
head.
hat? Is it like a...
Yeah, I'll show it to you when
Oh, I'm
you're
excited
leaving.
to see the SeatGeek
You're going to be
hat.
jealous of the SeatGeek hat. Thanks to Katie Nolan. Good seeing you. Next time we do this, it will be on your turf.
Goddamn
You
right
played
it will
2
be.
road games.
Yeah, I have.
And now I have to go. This is a home and home.
And I get to ask you questions.
You get to ask me questions.
About your boyfriend.
I'll be so... I don't want to talk about him. Yeah, we'll do this again. Thank you. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you. You too.
I'm very proud of you.
Oh.
I mean that in the least condescending way possible.
That's not
No, it's
condescending.
good. You've done a really good... You've had a nice little arc.
Thank you.
All right, good. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
We about this bitch. Anytime y'all want to see me again, rewind this track right here, close your eyes, and picture me rolling.